Hello, how you doing? Happy New Year. I hope you're well. This is Graham, and this is my first video talking about yoga. I wanted to make a quick video today because I felt inspired. I watched a film the other day on Netflix called On Yoga, The Architecture of Peace, and I thought it was a wonderful film in many ways. It spoke to some of the leading teachers and masters and gurus of the world who are helping thousands, if not millions of people come into the art and practice and experience of yoga, and how that has changed so many lives. And as some of you may know, I've been in India myself studying. So I felt re-inspired when I watched this film to just kind of start putting out some messages. And the first thing I want to talk to you today is on the question, what is yoga? Now, the reason I felt inspired to try and answer this question for myself, from my own experience, was that in the film on Netflix, when they spoke to all these masters and these wonderful practitioners, they then came back to images of flexible yogis, people who were flexible beyond belief and beyond attainment for many, many people, and that's okay. So in my mind, the message that was built up was that enlightenment and self-discipline and mastery, which are all aspects of yoga, are all attained in the yoga studio by flexing your back and going deeper into postures. Now, this is wonderful, and I don't take this experience away from anyone, and anyone that practices yoga on a daily basis and that uses their time in the studio to release tension and find its self-empowerment and find some form of liberation and relaxation and all of those wonderful things. That is a vital aspect to yoga. But the thing that struck me, and I suppose the reason it struck me so clearly, was because that probably was my impression before going to India. But you only have to step foot in India to realize that yoga is way bigger than that. So going back to its origins, and very simply put, yoga is the science of self-mastery, the science of self-mastery of your energy. And when you gain mastery of your energy, your life naturally improves. So if you improve the experiencer, the experience of life improves. And it really was a science. So the masters, the sages who figured all this out, before there was any scientific investigation into the nature of the mind and how mind patterns work, they figured this out over 6,000 years ago, before there were any self-help books, before there were any modern ways of encouragement to get your life on track, or live in deeper fulfillment, or live in deeper states of joy and peace and happiness, and live within your flow and live within what makes you happy and what makes your heart sing. Before all of these books that we now hold up as, very important to a lot of people's lives, there was yoga. And these masters worked tirelessly in the investigation of the mind and the investigation of the nature of life to try and find answers for us. And the reason that yoga has survived so long, whereas other religions have come and passed, and also why religion is not deemed so important to many, whereas yoga still has this maintaining power, is that it is involved in the development of life. And as life develops, as culture develops, then yoga then has more to explore on, because it's about understanding the nature of life and the nature of how we fit into this whole. Why am I here? The big question, why am I here? And the things that can make us feel better in life, the things that can really improve our life, and the things that are yogic and are fundamental to yoga are wisdom, service, being of service, taking care of your mind, taking care of your principles, abstaining from malpractice or anything that would cause you harm, abstaining from harming others, focusing on your breath, understanding your breath, doing Tai Chi type movements, working with sound to create different currents and different energy vibrations. And then also, of course, the physical aspect of what we now understand as Hatha yoga. So I wanted to make this video just to express that there is a world beyond the studio, which is yogic. And in fact, yogic lifestyle is the everyday. It's the choices that we make every day. It's the awareness that we have about ourselves every day. This is as much yoga as a downward dog or a backward bend. So I really, really wanted to express this to you because it's become clear to my mind that this is what yoga is. And I would love for more people to understand that the investigation of yourself and how you work and the science of self-realization, however that comes, which includes the whole spectrum, full value living, full value investigation, that's the yogic path. And that's the kind of thing that I will be hoping to help people with. So I hope that you found this helpful. It can seem slightly confusing. It can seem slightly distant, something separate from yourself. But really it isn't, because every day we make choices. Every day we choose something. Every day we live by a system, a pattern of life, whether we know it or not. So yoga is about refining those patterns, refining those choices, refining those modes of living in a disciplined but very self-loving kind of way. And like I say, one of those aspects is using the beautiful form of physical yoga to help that on the way, to keep your body strong, to then keep your mind strong. So I'll leave that with you, and I hope that that was helpful to you as much as it has been so helpful to me. So namaste, have a great day.